It's a new month and there's so much happening. So in this studio vlog, we'll take a little trip to the big city, Glasgow, where I'm dropping off some artwork to the gallery and just hanging out and having fun for a night. Back at home, we'll spend a little time exploring and do lots of painting, and I'll give you guys an update about where my art practice is at the moment. And then I'll show you what I'm packing and bringing to the 2-day plein air painting event this weekend. Let's jump in. Summer is nearly here, and in fact, it feels like it's already here. We've had a lot of hot days, but we've also had a lot of cold, rainy days as well because, it's Scotland. And I love that back and forth because I get a little warmth and a little sun, and then I get to cool off. As many of you know, I spend a lot of time painting on the coast, and it's been really wonderful to be on the beach with shorts or a t-shirt and just really soak up that summer feeling. Or at least just not be freezing my butt off. But it's been quite busy at home, and I actually struggle quite a lot this time of year because the weather gets so nice that I'm constantly feeling pulled outside. And since I'm a very seasonal artist, I paint outside as much as possible. So I have to force myself to tackle my to-do list in the mornings or evenings or on rainy days and get as much done as possible so that I can afford to spend more time outside. I also want to thank you all for your kind response to one of my recent videos where I talked about a bit of the shipping drama that I've experienced with sending things worldwide, and let you know that it's getting much better now. So it seems that whenever I send a new thing out, it's arriving within a couple weeks, which is so awesome. And I have lots of books left over that I'm selling. If you want to check those out, I'll put a link in the description. The art fair's coming up and I'm nearly out of business cards, and I didn't want to get the same old thing that I've been using for a while. So this time I went with a company called Moo, M-O-O, which I actually used when I lived in the United States. So the cool thing about Moo is that you can get multiple photos printed on the back. So each of the business cards is unique. So I have some artwork that I've selected from over the past few years. I'm gonna have these kind of spread out around the table. Some of them will be upside down like this. Some of them will be upright like this, which means people can obviously tell it's a business card, and they'll just be able to kind of pick and choose if they want specific art on their business card. So hopefully that's more enticing for people to actually take a card and maybe even take a couple and share it with friends. Yay! I recently went down to Glasgow, which is about 4 hours away, or maybe 4.5 depending on traffic, and spent the night because I was bringing some artwork to the gallery. I stopped at Cass Art. It's very difficult to go into an art store and not spend all my money. Glasgow is the most populated city in Scotland with a little over 500,000 people. And since I'm very much a country girl, it's always overwhelming going to a city. But this time I enjoyed it a little more because I had a mission. I was going to the gallery, I knew I was going to the art store, and I also was on the lookout for lots of cool murals and artworks around the city. I didn't have a lot of time to explore, but I did enjoy this little trip. It's been a pretty good trip, like crazy weather though.
How many are you dropping?
4.
We'll fill in all those details, don't worry. And then those are the ones that you're picking up. So I'll just grab those other ones from the back for you.
I think last time I emailed you guys like a list of the titles with the price and the photos as well. So I'll just do that again if that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. It's a little maybe easier because I put a little to try to make it like a certificate of authenticity. So there's like a little embossing on it as well. So maybe the buyer feels more special.
Oh, that looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely.
And they're all local, or to me, local, up on the, like right on the coast, so.
Yeah, if you have them, like the specific locations.
Yeah, a couple of them have the titles of the beach or the places, but then I'll send like a little blurb that's like, this is painted from here and that kind of thing.
Right, yeah, buyers always love, like, especially like if they've been on holiday there or something.
Yeah.
They always like to know.
I'm gonna do a little tour.
Yeah,
to do live workshops, and I have no idea how I'm gonna organize that.
Yeah,
because it's intense. And maybe if I had an assistant, it would be easier. But yeah, I don't know.
Your husband to do it.
I know. Just like quit or go part time and work with me part time.
They might have artists though that like they get their partners to do.
I know. I've noticed that, and like I just want to like hire him, and he could like drive a big van of us around, and we'll go paint like on the coast. And how amazing would that be?
Oh my god, that'd be incredible.
But for now, it's just online stuff. So
that's really cool though. You can like reach more people, kind of.
Yeah, I just. It's great for obviously business, like sustaining my business in between sales and other things. Yeah. So it's like it kind of is more consistent because you never know when it rains, it pours with art, it seems.
Yeah, you can never tell what's going to happen.
Yeah. So my paintings are officially in the gallery, and actually within a few days of arriving back home, I found out that one of them sold, which was of course very exciting. If you want to check out more of my art, I'll put a link in the description, and of course you can just go to their website and see all of the available art. But I want to remind you all that I will be making a separate video about the experience of working with a gallery and answering a lot of your questions, like how did you get into the gallery, how does it all work, and so forth. So stay tuned in the next few weeks for that video. It was a really nice visit. They're so friendly, and right now there's some absolutely gorgeous paintings in there. I could have stayed and stared at them for hours. Oh, and you can see here I picked up a couple of the paintings that they didn't sell, and now they have fresh art. Hopefully it goes on to find a new home with someone who loves Scotland. And now I get to drive 4 hours home. So first, coffee. If you've watched my vlogs over the last few months, you've probably seen my art start to evolve more towards a not necessarily abstract place, but the process probably looks very abstract. What I've been doing is embracing the fluid nature of acrylic high flow medium and some of the more fluid types of acrylics. And with gouache and watercolor, I mean, I've always done that kind of thing. But with acrylic, I've been trying to push myself towards trying it in a new way, basically, like a way that surprises me. I find that when I surprise myself during the creation process, I'm much more likely to not get bogged down by any one area of the painting, like any detail or even just the application process itself. I don't know if any of this makes sense. All I'm trying to say is I'm trying to be more open to new ways of working. After 5 years of painting, I realized that I can sometimes get into this mindset of complacency, or like, you know, it becomes a little too easy, or I start doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it just isn't fulfilling. It's not fulfilling me creatively, artistically, or anything. So in order to get out of that, I have to do something new. And what I love about using very fluid mediums is that spontaneity. If you can learn how to embrace that spontaneity and not necessarily control it, but like give it a little push, kind of guide it towards your final goal, but let it do its thing, I find the results to be just absolutely magical. I love seeing paintings where it's clear that the artist let the paint flow and just really do its thing without overly controlling it. And it's not that I'm like putting down hyper realism or anything like that. That's like a whole other skill and another type of art. But for me personally, I'm much more excited by the very abstract quality of wet medium and what the crazy wild results you can get while still controlling it in a way that you can tell what the final result is. So that's kind of where I am with my art, and I will continue to push it and explore new things, but for now I'm just loving this very fluid process. Hello everybody. I have my cup of sunshine, as I call it. It's coffee. But I just felt like having a little chat because I have so much on my mind and there's so many overlapping projects. I don't even know if I'll use this footage, but sometimes just talking through things helps me. So let's see, we have this coming weekend in a few days, the Findhorn plein air event. It's a 2-day very casual painting event outside, although I think we're supposed to have quite windy weather and maybe rain. So it might be more of an indoor painting event. There is a place that we can go to if it rains, I guess, but and I'm trying not to let my social anxieties like take over. I want to just go into it with excitement and not worry about what might happen or what might not happen and whatever. Like, I want to enjoy it. Oh, I got a box of art supplies. Let's open it. As you probably previously saw, I went to Casa Art and got a bunch of stuff, but they didn't have everything I wanted, so I did make an order online when I got back. A couple big brushes because I need to have dedicated varnishing brushes, so like not going to use these for anything except varnish so that they stay clean and in good condition. 5 boxes of paint, I think. Oh, I just remembered what I ordered. Oh my God, I am so excited that these arrived on time. This might change everything. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, calm down. These are slow drying acrylics. They're called open acrylics, and that means they dry at a much slower speed. And even if it's like hot outside, the sun is beating down on my paint, it won't instantly dry. So I'm only going to be using these for plein air painting, taking them out on location, because that's usually when I struggle with paint drying too fast. Very excited about this. And as is tradition, let us shock ourselves with seeing how much all of this cost. £194 and 80 pence. As a reminder, I'm going to do a totally separate video about the Findhorn Plein Air event, but I thought today in this video, I can include a little thing about what I'm going to bring, what I'm going to pack for the event, and my ideas for what setups I'll use. Okay, to make sure that I'm very comfortable and not stressed, I decided I'm gonna bring my most used setup, which is the Etcher Slate Mini on my tripod with my toned paper sketchbook. I will obviously be able to put most of my supplies in here. I am gonna have my backpack with me, so I can keep my brush roll, my palette, some tape, probably a couple sketchbooks, everything I need pretty much. And since I used this setup for the daily painting challenge in April, I'm very comfortable with it now. But since I'm driving there, I'm also going to show you the second setup I'm bringing, which is something that I do only if I know I won't have to walk too far. This is the Gorilla Painter rolling chair. I don't know exactly what they call it, but it looks like this. And I've used this for a few years now, not as much as like my more portable setups, but if I'm not going to be walking more than like a mile, this is really, really convenient to have. So we have the very sandy chair because I took it to the beach the other day. And this is where you put all of your stuff. So it comes with a little back cushion that you just attach there. I also got the Gorilla Painter umbrella, which attaches pretty much to anything. Spin it for 1,000 years until it closes. I hate that part. So I'm gonna put this in the car and just have it available. And if I decide to use it, I'm going to use it with my acrylic setup, and that's going to be a different pochade box, which I'll show you. I have 2 options when it comes to pochade boxes, and it totally depends on the size I want to paint and how much energy I have. Because this is a super, super light, robust, easy setup. Like, I can toss that thing around, it seems like it's indestructible. This, however, is a very heavy, solid wood pochade box, and I've mostly used it for oil. But that glass adds a lot of weight, and the solid wood adds a lot of weight. But I can paint at a much bigger size, but this is the one that comes with me most often because it's just so portable. I have a piece of palette paper taped to the tray, and then my paintings go up here. Your wet paintings can slide into here back to back, so you can technically carry 2 wet paintings. So if I'm painting with acrylics and they're not drying in time, I can just slide them in here back to back and close it up and throw this in my bag. It doesn't matter what way it's facing, and I know they won't be ruined. It's just a really easy way of carrying things around, especially if your back hurts a lot with carrying heavy backpacks, which mine always does. The next day, I had a very early morning appointment at my dentist in Inverness, and that's a very long drive. It's about an hour, 20 minutes. And at the last minute, they had to cancel, so I was actually already like halfway there, and I decided to take a little detour and test out my new setup. I'm very glad I did, which I'll explain later. Oh no, go ahead. I just started, so it's not much. It's amazing how fast the light changes though.
Yeah.
When I first got here, it was dark except one sliver of light right on the dunes. And so I'm trying to kind of capture that feeling where it's like dark, and then a light, and then dark in the foreground. So we'll see if it might just stay like this though. Who knows? Have a good day. Look at my new umbrella. It's so nice, and it means I can be out in the courtyard when it's like blasting sun and I don't overheat, and my painting is covered, which is really nice. I just got home. I had a dentist appointment first thing in the morning, which got canceled at the last minute. So I was away from home. I had all my paint stuff in my car, and I'm like, okay, no excuse. I'm gonna stop and paint somewhere. And of course I had my open acrylics, and I was like, cool, this is the perfect chance to try them out before the event. And I'm really glad I did, because I kind of realized it's maybe not the best idea to use a new medium for the first time at a public social event, because I was quite stressed out. Even though I'm very comfortable with acrylics here at home, I very rarely paint with them on plein air, outside, on the go. I am so much more comfortable with watercolor and gouache and just drawing. And so it was very eye-opening. My biggest problem is I don't think my small 6x8 is actually big enough for me at this point in my journey for acrylic, because I felt like I was running out of space on my palette constantly, and therefore I wasn't pouring enough paint out, and I was mixing too little at a time and not applying enough to the paper. I was just struggling so much. In addition, it was extremely challenging lighting. It was moving constantly, like light, dark, every 2 minutes. So it was just like too much. I'm really glad I did it though, because now I know I'm probably not going to bring the acrylics. I'm going to stick with my very comfortable setup of my gouache and watercolor and drawing kit. Maybe some markers, because that's easy and fun. So my plan for the open acrylics is to get a little bit more comfortable with them at home, maybe like 5 or 10 short sessions with them, get a feel for them. Then when I go out and paint, I'll make sure I use my bigger pochade box so that I have like a nice amount of mixing space, and I don't, yeah, you really need to use enough paint on the palette. I know that's like a beginner mistake, and I've done it. I got over that with gouache a long time ago, but I don't know what it is about. Like today when I was using the acrylics, I was like back to the basics, that struggle. This video is probably like so long, but I'm gonna stop it here. So thank you all for hanging out with me in the studio vlog. Of course, let me know if you have any questions. By the time this goes live, I think I'm gonna schedule this video to go live on Saturday. So I will be in the middle or at the end of day 1 of the plein air event. And I'll do my best to like answer comments and stuff when I get home, but you know, thanks for your patience. But I really do appreciate all of you who leave comments and share your experiences, or if you have questions, I always try to answer. I also love how helpful other people are in the comments. Like if someone asks a question, maybe I don't see it right away, I always see that other people are like contributing, and I love that. I love that part of the community. So thank you all for hanging out. I'm gonna go find the kitties and play with them for a little while and then get some work done. So talk to you soon. Bye. Was that fun? Oh yes, go to your dirt patch. He loves the dirt patch. Yes, you do. Nice and dirty. Make the dirt patch bigger.